Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the Scrappy Cinema Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Ritchie. With me today, we have an actor who also happens to be a location manager. And we're going to talk a little bit about exactly what that means and what a location manager does, among many other things. So I'm excited to welcome to the podcast, Kiran Rhe Kestenbaum. Kiran, welcome.
Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
So you are here today, no pressure, but you are here today to reveal all of the secrets of location management and what a location manager does. Go ahead. Oh, I'm
Just
losing
kidding.
you. I lost you.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Uh, you have the floor.
Okay. So, most basic description would be when a production company or a director or shoot of some kind, any kind of shoot, anything that you can think of that's filming, needs to film on location and isn't planning to build their set themselves. Even then, sometimes. But I am the person that they hire to help find that location, select
Mhm.
it, and basically tie up all the logistical ends of that location, whether that's figuring out parking, whether that's permitting, bathrooms, anything like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me. We're
Good to be here. I hope, let me know if there's any additional descriptors I can give. It's like a very broad role that I like it because it combines the creative with the logistical really well. And I come from a very creative background of I majored in theater in college and I was pursuing acting in New York City for 10 years. And so when I first forayed into production work, I wasn't sure where I was going to end up or what department would suit me. And I definitely didn't think of myself as being type A, logistical, organized person. I kind of closed myself off to that side of myself. And locations work, production work in general has really helped me gain confidence in that side of myself as well, and balance my brain, if you will.
Mhm. Mhm. Sure.
But that creative side of me and that outgoing side of me that made me an actor, performer, that has been huge in helping me as a location scout, location manager, because you can be good at logistics, you can be great at organizing and thinking of everything, but there's just that certain intuitive understanding of what the director's looking for or the DP, kind of knowing what that magic is that makes something look cinematic. There's that. There's knowing how to take good pictures of the space that really encapsulate how it feels to be in the space. And and then it's about knowing how to talk to people, to get into spaces sometimes, how to deliver messages from the director, from the team to the homeowner, or vice versa, in ways that everybody can accept it and go on working well together, mediating, that kind of thing. So I think that I was able to translate a lot of what I was doing as an actor and a creative really well into the location stuff and discovered more about myself and how organized I actually can be.
And frankly, that's a skill set you're bringing that not every location manager is going to have. So, that's really a good leg up for you. Yeah.
I mean, often you do find people who are exceptionally organized are not the best people. They're not the most people, you know? They might be a little more ornery. So I think I walk that. I think I walk that line pretty well. you know.
Uh, Describe the job a little bit on, let's say, pre-production versus once production is underway. What does a day look like when you're a location manager for something um, that's still in pre-production versus when the production gets underway?
So again, every job is different, and especially right now with the state of the industry. Um,
Which is great, by the way. Let's just let's not bury the lead.
Yeah, let's not bury the lead here. The industry, I mean, I think I saw in one of your questions you sent me that you had prepared for today about, I think it was like about advice or how to get into this. And it's most people I know right now are saying, don't. um, it's or proceed with caution at your own risk to try to pursue this industry right now. It's super sad, and I know that if anyone had said to me when I was young, "Oh, don't bother pursuing film. That's dying. It's going to be gone in the next 10 years because of AI and blah blah blah, and all the jobs have left America," I still would have gone ahead and done it anyway because I was young and naive and delusional a little bit, like, oh, but it'll happen for me, right? So I don't even know that saying, oh, it's a really bad time right now to get into it would even stop anybody who is has that itch to do this. But it's important to know that it's a really rough time. And I come from, this is not my office. I live with a location manager. My partner is a location manager, and I'm a location manager. We're a family of locations people. And I've been lucky in the last few weeks. I've had a few different calls for jobs, but otherwise, I hadn't been working all year. From January to like 2 weeks ago, I had no film jobs. And my partner, it's even longer. He hasn't worked on a film job since last October, November. Nothing has called him. The other location manager I live with is much more established and is my mentor. He's the only one who's been consistently working, but that's because he's been doing this for 40 years and
Wow.
was the location manager of House of Cards and The Wire. So he, literally anything coming to Baltimore or DC is going to think of him and call him. But otherwise, right now, it's a very slow time. It's a really bleak time. And long-winded answer to your question. Every job I get called for is different. It seems increasingly so, like they have less and less prep time for me. I'm having increasingly to mitigate people's expectations of like, yeah, I might be able to find you something, but is it going to be exactly what you specified that you wanted? Is it going to be an open concept kitchen looking into the living room? Maybe not. I can't guarantee I'm going to find that in the tiny period of time you've given me, you know?
Are you doing location management for strictly films or commercials as well? What do
Everything.
you? Okay.
I do a lot of commercials, PSAs, campaign videos, but then I also have worked on major movies, major TV shows for Netflix, Amazon, Apple, Disney, all those guys. Whenever they've just been coming less and less, but they do come here still. I mean, anytime you write a scene where you need the Capitol to blow up, still have to come here and get that shot of the Capitol. So we do still get regular work that comes here, but it's just not as long or as much as we used to get for the union jobs.
Right.
And then I do a
Sure.
lot of indie film right now. That's indie
Yeah.
film has honestly been the only thing keeping me afloat sometimes, even though it's not paying my union dues.
I see behind you the Baltimoreans poster, and I know you were the location manager on that, which I saw, and I believe is streaming now. Correct? I think I should have done my homework on
Yes.
that.
Yes, it's on AMC Plus,
Thank you.
as well
So
as all
people
other platforms you can rent it on. But for streaming, it's AMC Plus.
and like so many. So if someone has listened this far and they've said, "I don't care if you say not to do it. I'm going in. I'm doing this."
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't wanna seem like I'm saying not to do it. It's just really hard. I can't lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I live with my partner and his parents because it's been so inconsistent. We can't take on a lease and afford rent.
sure, sure,
Do it at your
yeah.
own risk. If you're young, go for it.
So I'm curious, like so many things on a film shoot, it's one of those things that when done well, invisible. It's very
Hmm.
hard for someone at home to go, man, that location management rocked on there. I didn't hear, they must have given money out to the guys with their leaf blowers out next door, because I didn't hear any leaf blowers in that thing. No, but I'm curious how you sort of for yourself determine success on a project, or whether you think things went really well. What do you look at and say, you
Oh,
know what, I'm really happy with how that turned out?
that's a really good question. That's a very good question. Okay, so I just worked on a project last summer called, I say just worked. It was last summer and now we're already entering spring. But this was the last like major indie film that I worked on. Last summer, I got to go to Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, and scout. And this was again kind of a last minute, but it was okay because the majority of the shoot took place at this one campsite, and they just needed all of their last week of locations. They were like 3 weeks at a campsite and then 1 week everywhere else they needed to shoot. So the whole 3 weeks that they were filming, I was, or actually it was more than 3 weeks. It was over a month. I think it was 6 weeks total. But anyway, the whole time that they were filming, I was driving all over the area scouting for these other locations for them. And honestly, that experience, that film in particular, I walked away feeling very proud of myself, because not only was it, like, as I said before, you don't always get brought on from start to finish anymore. A lot of the time now they call you midway, during, or they call you before saying, we need a scout, but we can't afford to have you on for the entirety of the shoot managing. So it's less and less of a, we need you from before, during, and after than it's ever been. This shoot I got to be on before, a few days before we started filming, during, and after. Full bookend experience of making a film from start to finish, which is one of the parts of being in locations that I love. You're one of the first departments that gets called. That is, you're one of the first people that is bouncing ideas off of production and the directors, and talking about problem solving and creative solutions and stuff. It's really great to be on early and have these kind of relationships, and then watch the production grow and get bigger and meet all the people, and things get stressful and there's all kinds of stuff that you're not sure if it's going to work out or fall, or is this location going to fall through. Or on the Western Pennsylvania job, we were, the director desperately wanted a couple specific national parks, or state parks, sorry, and he was really struggling to get any answers from anyone in the Pennsylvania state parks and recreations. um, and the producers were also struggling. Everyone, and they were at this point about to start filming. It was too much going on for them to really focus their attention on this, but it was super important to the director that we get these locations. So I just hit that so hard and chased every possible avenue to get these locations, and even was speaking with state representatives on the phone and their secretaries and their assistants and aides. But we did it. We managed to get the director's first choice of locations. Like, these, he wrote the script with these places in mind, and so that was really a big proud of myself moment of being like, I didn't have to find him the next best option. I got him the one he wanted. I managed, like, we did it. We managed to get Pennsylvania to agree to let us film at these incredible locations that they were being very difficult and skeptical about. We had to make all these film. I had to make a document that was a filming plan, and we intentionally made it very thorough so that there would be no, what about this? What about that? And once we sent it, the guy, Pennsylvania Parks, came back and said, I have never seen anything this well detailed and put together. And I'm going to use this as the template moving forward for every production that reaches out to me and say,
Wow.
you need to fill it out this way. So that was, I mean, and on top of everything, and on top of me finding everything for them that they were looking for and delivering everything, including a police station, which was my first time
Hmm.
walking into police stations all over Western Pennsylvania and being like, "Hi, can we film here?" I thought there's no chance. I'm thinking, okay, what can we fake as a police station? What can we make look like a police station? What other buildings exist that resemble that? But I'm gonna just see whether we can't actually get the real police station locally here. And we did. We walk in and they're like, "Yeah, sure." And I sat there with the head detective and the chief of police, and like there's just so many places that locations takes you that you don't expect, and so many people you meet and get to know that you never would have otherwise gotten to meet and know. And it's the entire process is like really satisfying that way when it all comes together then, and finally you're seeing everybody on set shooting and everybody's looking around going, how the did they get a police station? We're in a real police station. Like they were arresting people and bringing them in as we were filming. We were, people were like, how the fuck did we get this? And it's like, I feel really good. I got this. um, top of that, I did get to act in that as well. So that was like full everything I want to be doing in one project. This game, it's a long game about relationships, both with the crew and the production and the homeowners and the location managers. I mean, the people who manage those locations, not me. Um, you want to maintain all of those relationships and have really good, solid ones. And it's like in real life, you're more likely to say yes to something that's less than ideal if you really trust the person who's asking you, you know, if you know they're not someone who would lie to you and is telling it to you straight always.
Sure, sure. So let's say I give you a call. I say, Kiran, I'm shooting in Baltimore and I've got this scene and I need a kind of futuristic looking uh diner for these folks to have this conversation
Ooh,
in my
that's a new
what
one. It's always a
there you
video
go.
diner.
There you
It's
go.
never a futuristic one.
Sort of a Blade
Oh, I like
Runner
this.
appropriate diner. So kind of take me through, what do you do next? How do you start the process of even trying to find these locations?
So depending, right? You said a futuristic diner. I might already have some ideas off the top of my head from previous diners I've scouted for other shoots. Maybe it's not a futuristic diner, but it's quirky, and I know that they're a laid back establishment that would be okay with art department adding some things to make it look more futuristic. I'll do the best I can, of course, to try to find them an actual futuristic diner. But a lot of the time, there's limitations as well of like, we want something within 40 miles of DC or 40 miles of Baltimore or either one. And so that's the other thing is like, it's oftentimes there are these like parameters and limitations on what you're scouting. And that's helpful ultimately. It's kind of harder to not have for it to just be like anywhere. It might depend on where you're having me look for this futuristic diner. There might, if it's Pennsylvania has so many diners now. Um, there might be one. And I do the same thing that producers do, but I take the extra steps of calling and visiting these places in person, taking comprehensive, extensive photos of the places, clearing that they're available and interested in working with us ahead of time. Also, while I'm there visiting these places, looking around at parking, looking at bathrooms, it's all of that. So it's really not like there's so much more that goes into picking a location and finding a location than just like, oh, that looks great. Great. Let's book it.
And this is your big chance. Any misconceptions about the world of location management you'd like to clear up now?
Yeah, I'd say that it's kind of what I was getting at before that They think that we can make magic happen sometimes, and yes, we're very motivated and good at what we do, and maybe we did make magic happen for you once, but it doesn't mean that shouldn't be the expectation every time, that like I'm going to put you through the ringer every time and you're going to deliver every time. That's unrealistic. Give You should always give if anything that you're not the expert in, right? If I'm directing a film and I don't know, I'm not an expert in how long it takes to sew and how long it takes to make costumes. I'm going to go to the costume designer and say, like, here's what I need. Here's how many people I'm costuming and dates and budget. You tell me, like, how much time do you need to do this? How many days can you work on this? What rate are you willing to work at based on my budget? And like, how do we make this work? That's all any of us want, really, is that level of like respect for what we do. I know you've been doing this specific thing a lot more than me, and therefore have the tools and understanding of what it takes to do this. And instead of being like, I'm going to call this person last minute, as soon as I have this script and I know I'm making this movie, I'm going to call a locations person and say, so how much time do we actually need? That's a big misconception. I think that like you can just call these people whenever, and we're all so desperate for work that we'll do it, but we're not. We want to do our jobs well, because that's our name attached to it too. And we want to we don't want to make bad films. That's not what we're here. We didn't start out doing this because we wanted to make crappy cinema, scrappy cinema.
Careful. Be very careful.
Scrappy, yes. Crappy, no. You know, Baltimoreans was scrappy, but was it crappy? No. It's like, yeah. We all want to help you make your film and make it really good. We all want it to be good. So give us the tools to do that. Other misconception, I would say, concierge. They think that we are concierge when once the shoot is happening, a lot of the other crew who don't necessarily do as much prep work or they don't understand the relationship production and locations have with each other and all the work that goes into before filming. On the shoot day, I think most crew just think that we're there to get them whatever they need. They think that I'm there as location manager during filming to make sure that like, oh, can you go take the roof off of this house? I don't, it's just, can we unscrew this chandelier? Can you go and unscrew this chandelier? Can we turn off all the HVAC in the house? Is that, that's fine. That's fine. I just mean to say there's like there's expectations that we are there to just standing by to do anything for them. Can you take out the trash? I will do all of this and more, but that's ultimately a location manager. If they've done their job well and things have gone well with working with production on the shoot day, we should kind of just be standing there being like, we're just there kind of overseeing, making sure that everything goes smoothly and that everyone's interests are served and no one is stepping on each other's toes or breaking anything. But we're not like, we shouldn't be running around like crazy during the shoot. And I think that's what they think that we're supposed to be doing. I think they resent that. A lot of the time they think like a locations person is just like standing there while they're doing the work of like setting up lights. And it's no, I've been working my ass off for 2-3 months leading up to today. And now I get to sit back and see the fruits of my labor. And yeah, I'll jump in and help out and troubleshoot. But like, do you know what I'm saying? I think
I'm with you. Sure.
Their every day is being on set. They have no concept of that. That's where we are in our process.
Well, listen, I'm very glad that you joined me today, and this has been fun, and it's great to learn more about location management. Now, if someone says, you know what, Kiran, that's our location manager, how can they find you?
I have a website, which is the same website I started when I was acting, when I first became an actor, KiranRhe.com, KiranRhe.com. I also have IMDb, and my email, phone numbers. I think at least my email is available on both of those to be able to reach out to me.
Great. Very good. Well, listen, thanks again. And I look forward to seeing more of your projects in the future.
Thank you for having me. It's really fun to talk about locations. It's something I'm super, super passionate about that I never thought I would do. It was such a happy accident to find this work and to be as engaged and passionate about it as I am. So I in some ways, of course, I want it to be a secret that it's this amazing job. I don't want everyone to want this job, but at the same time, I do want people to know and understand what this job is, because it's the only thing that's not awarded at the Oscars now, especially now that we've done casting, now that we've
Casting,
added
sure.
casting in there. It's the only thing not awarded at the Oscars. I feel like we're kind of the like stepchild, and we're not always kind of given the credit or paid attention the way a lot of the other crafts and departments in film are. So it's just a pleasure to get to talk about it with anyone.
Once again, my guest today has been location manager Kiran Rhe Kestenbaum. You can find out more about her on her website at kiranrhe.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. And until next time, stay scrappy.